Hey, you possum peeps! Today is Monday, November 6, 2023, and you're watching a special edition of the Weekly Paw. Hi, my name is Sean Patrick Hillman. I'm the editor-in-chief and co-publisher of Pet Lifestyles magazine. Now, I know I've been radio silent for the last 6 weeks. To be honest, we have been so slammed putting together the first new Pet Lifestyles magazine issue in over a year. Now, I have to say, it is perfect. As you all know, I've been talking with you guys for months about what we've been up to. Well, today is the day I get to finally show everyone. Now, when my co-publisher Bill Mason approached me about relaunching this magazine, I jumped at the chance. The only proviso was that this had to be a different magazine than it was before. Now, we both agreed that a new direction, a breath of fresh air, if you will, was much needed. And boy, did we get it. I insisted that the first new issue of this great title had to be something the magazine had never done before, an issue dedicated solely to adoption and rescue. Now, this was particularly important when you start to realize that the euthanization rate at shelters and rescues across the country is on the rise again. They need our help. And who better to lend a paw than the authority on all things pet, Pet Lifestyles magazine. So, without further ado, it is my distinct honor, it is my pleasure to reveal the very first new Pet Lifestyles magazine issue, the Adoption and Rescue edition, featuring the CEO of Best Friends Animal Society and the possumest woman in rescue, Julie Castle. I sat down with Julie a couple of months ago to have a more candid, personal conversation. We wanted this issue, this cover story, to be warmer as opposed to the tried and true corporate type of interview. It needed to be something more personally driven, just like Julie. And we wanted it to be a real look at this amazing person. And wow, is that what we got? I mean, you're going to be blown away by some of the stuff in this story. Now, I've known Julie for about 15 years. Total possum rock star. And if it's actually possible, I had even more love and respect for Julie Castle after completing the interview. Now, in this cover story, you're going to learn about Julie's genesis story in rescue and advocacy. You're also going to see how this intrepid changemaker started at the bottom of the totem pole, if you will, and rose through the ranks at Best Friends Animal Society, all the while continuing to help grow their sphere of influence. Finally, putting the stake in the ground in a call to make the U.S. a no-kill nation free of euthanization by 2025. Now, when you read this story, you're going to learn a lot of things about Julie and just how hardworking, dedicated, and compassionate she truly is. Now, as you go through the magazine, you're going to see new sections, new types of content, and more. We tried to redesign the magazine so that it really is the easiest read for busy pet lovers, while still delivering impactful and dynamic content. In this issue, you're going to learn about our spokesdog, Briorio, and her journey from rescue to foster to adoption, and everything in between. Now, we wanted to use Bree's story to really help illustrate what is involved in rescuing an animal, how the process works, and the various steps that are taken to get an animal into a new loving and responsible home. Now, you're also going to find information on over 70 rescue and shelter organizations from across the country that can help you find a new forever friend. These organizations are on the ground, making a difference every single day. So I encourage you to read through all of their descriptions, visit their websites, and learn more about them. They can use all of our help. So please consider adopting, fostering, volunteering, or donating to any of these wonderful and worthwhile organizations. And if you are part of an organization that is not currently in this issue, please don't worry. We're going to be adding to it regularly and housing the list, the database, if you will, on our website so that our readers will always have a resource to tap for rescue and adoption information. In the interim, if you would like us to cover your rescue or shelter in either our new database or for a story, please email me at the address on your screen. Yes, I actually do read that email address. Yes, I actually do respond. So, by all means, please, we're all in this together as a community. Now, talking about adoption and rescue is important, but knowing how to address a new forever one, the challenges with a new adoptable, and what you need to do to tackle that as pet parents is even more important so that you get off on the right paw with your new forever friend. That's why we included tips and tricks from Kate Perry of Kate Perry Dog Training, who, as you all know, is our official dog training partner, as well as tips from Dr. Stephanie Liff of Pure Paws Veterinary Care, who is our official veterinarian partner. Now, both Kate and Dr. Liff also took the time to provide tips and tricks on holiday entertaining, what to look out for when having guests over, and the like to help you also get through the holiday season should you adopt a new forever friend. Now, bigger issue happening right now, or large issue happening right now, I should say, is the divorce rate. It's on the rise again as well. And knowing how people address pets during custody issues, we wanted to be sure that pet parents knew their rights and what they should be doing to ensure their forever friend makes it through what can be a very difficult and emotionally draining proceeding. So, I went to the source on divorce and all issues surrounding this very scary topic. Of course, I'm referring to the one and only, the legendary Alyssa Panitz, who is known as the only divorce journalist, and she is the host of the Divorce Hour with Alyssa Panitz on podcast and radio. Now, Alyssa is our latest columnist and put together a story on managing communications and time for pet parents so as to avoid any further contention related to your forever one during or after divorce proceedings. Alyssa has a lot of stuff coming down the pipe, so stay tuned for that. Total rock star. Thank you so much for doing that, Alyssa. Now, circling back on holiday, well, actually, Paw-a-day is what we call it. We have an entire Paw-a-day gift guide to help you find gifts for your forever friend this holiday season, as well as for the pet lover in your life, including, believe it or not, this Possum Swap-Ons phone case that I've talked about before with the swappable backs where you can put in new backs and new images on the back of your phone. So check that out. Now, this new issue is a total labor of love, to say the very least, but it is just the beginning. Next year, Pet Lifestyles Magazine is launching a multi-city tour to promote adoption with some fairly possum rock stars. Literal rock stars. Not just talking about cool people here, folks. No, I can't tell you who I'm talking about yet, but I can tell you that this tour is solely designed to drive up adoption rates. We're also bringing back an old adoption festival that I ran for a decade called Adopt-A-Palooza. It was the largest mega pet adoption event on the East Coast, and it's looking to be even bigger and better than ever. Of course, there are some amazing folks out there who, without, this would never have happened. So let me just say a bunch of thank yous real quick, and then we'll get back into the issue. First off, I have to thank my wife and my best friend, Kylie. Without her influence, I never would have continued to pursue this. Second, I have to thank my co-publisher and one of my dearest friends, Bill Mason, whose faith has been unwavering during this entire process. It's been a roller coaster ride, to say the least, my friend, but we have so much on the paw for next year. I can't wait. We also want to take a second to thank Gray 2K USA for their advertising and promotional support. Now, they just released a new book this week, which we're going to talk about more on this week's edition of the Weekly Paw, which will be out on Friday. I also have to give a thank you to one of my best friends and supporters, Joshua Axelband. He is the district manager for Best Friends Pet Hotels, and they're also advertising in the issue, so check that out. Josh has been an ardent supporter of mine for a very long time, so I really can't thank you enough, my brother. I can't wait to see what we do next. I also have to thank Kate Perry and her dedication to the cause. Look, guys, I've known Kate for a long time. She's always been the most supportive, loving, and incredible friend. Dr. Liff, you've been a rock star throughout this process. Same for Alyssa Panitz, who, as I alluded to earlier, we have some surprises coming from in the next few months, so stay tuned for that. Lastly, I wanted to thank Julie Castle. Julie, you have been such an incredible force in the advocacy and rescue space for so long. I truly hope we did you justice with this cover story. Thank you for your faith and belief in both Pet Lifestyles Magazine and myself. It's been pawsome, and I can't wait to see what we do to help you achieve the no-kill nation by 2025. So, it's done. The issue is out. The website is launched. Now the real work begins. Oh, before I forget, one last thing. Look for the next issue of Pet Lifestyles Magazine in January. That's going to be our first ever celebrity issue featuring celebrities and their pets, pets who are celebrities themselves, as well as petfluencers. I think you get the idea. This is not your daddy's Pet Lifestyles Magazine. This is the new Pet Lifestyles Magazine, and we can't be more excited. Stay pawsome, peeps. I'll see you on Friday.